Hi guys, we've come to Anderlecht, one of the juggernauts of Belgian football and one of the best academies in the world. We're going to go behind the scenes and find out the secret to their success and what really goes on inside the academy. Let's go. So guys, here we are, a couple of hours outside London, arrived here at Anderlecht, one of the best academies in the world. Looking forward to spending a couple of days here, seeing what makes this tick and seeing what makes it one of the best player development centres in world football. So yeah, it should be good fun, beautiful sun's out, so yeah, really looking forward to a good couple of days.
I think in Anderlecht we have a very individual and special approach that we describe throughout a game model that we share with, more than 30 trainers, more than 6 or 7 performance coaches, which we share with 220 youth players on different moments of the season, especially in the beginning, when we are talking about how are we going to play, which kind of profile of player do we want to develop, and how, which methodology do we use to translate or to translate theory into practice in the training sessions, and which kind of didactics do our coaches use to have a common view, to have a common idea about developing, but also to have a common language when we talk about football and especially football development. You can see that our main purpose is this. We have one central idea where at a younger age we are focusing on body and ball mastery, the profile of the player or the individual development of the player is much more important than the collective development or results. We want to make better players first of all, and we are convinced that how more better players you have in a team, how better your team will make results. So body and ball mastery, going to game mastery, and at the end, when they are 16, 17, 18 years old, for the first time in their career, they will have to focus on performance, because winning is at the end always important. So ability to play at young age, ability to play a game in the 8 against 8, and then ability to win and to perform once they become 11 against 11 players. So that's a central idea, and it seems simple, but that you have to share with all your coaches, that you have to share with all your players, but also with stakeholders, which are the parents, the grandparents, who are involved by educating their own sons or little sons. I don't know how to say it in English, but that's a little bit our central idea. When you are thinking about what am I going to propose to my players, okay, you have a list of characteristics from whom a coach has to know that they have to be as much as possible introduced in the training sessions, like many ball contacts. What you do left foot, you do it with your right foot, so the bilaterality is important, a cumulative degree of difficulty, and of course other very important principles and didactics that all our coaches try to respect and to introduce in a training session. We are always using kind of clip or image about a master chef. The ingredients are there, but as a master chef you have to handle it to become a great chef. And it's the same in football. You can propose to your team exercises, but they have to be from high level. How to reach high level? Okay. The 16 ingredients have to be as much as possible introduced in our training sessions.
So guys, just had a little bit of an impromptu sit down there with the Academy manager, Youri, and unbelievable. Gave you literally about a 30-minute chat, a real detailed breakdown of the Academy, the methodology, the philosophy, everything in there, all the age groups, all the approaches, amazing. Just sort of wow, luckily we filmed most of it. But yeah, really great, really sort of in awe about being in this great facility, this great academy, this great club with such a great track record of developing young players. But yeah, interested to hear what we talked about there, talking a little bit about that importance and individual brilliance, that ball mastery, and that body development as well, part of every session all the way through from the 8s all the way up to the top, that individual work, and obviously then combining that with that teamwork as well, so a real balanced approach that you see at most academies. But look, it's great to be here, looking forward to finding out more, and we're going to see, ideally today, we're looking to see ideally I think I'm going to see the 12s, I'm going to watch a bit of the 13s game, I'm going to watch the 8s do a session as well, then tomorrow I'm going to see the school program which they got here as well, then another session in the afternoon, so we're going to try and see as much as possible while we can. So here we are in the gym at Anderlecht. Look, it's been a bit of a whirlwind since we got here. We're welcomed into the office with the academy manager and the academy director. Had about 30 minutes of really intense, just basically, breakdown of the methodology and the philosophy here, which has been amazing. So just trying to get over that and process a lot of that. But now, lucky enough, we're going to track the 16s. We're in the gym with the 16s. They've got doing a bit of their physical prep work, which you'll see in academies. Same across the world. They do come to the gym, do the physical prep with the older age groups mainly, and then we're going to go and see them watching on the grass. So looking forward to getting on the grass and watching them. Great to be here. We're going to be here, and then also there's another facility they use for the younger players. We're going to go there a bit later as well, but excited to be here and looking forward to seeing what these guys do on the grass. So guys, here we are out on the grass in the academy here. I think we've got the 15s training behind us, what it looks like. I was just watching a bit of the 13s training, or 14s over there, but the 16s there, the coach is setting up, so we're going to film the session. Really excited, smash this session out, quickly run down the road to see a bit of the 13s game, and then watch the under-8s train as well. So action-packed day as always, and these things, just trying to suck up as much information as possible, speak to as many people as possible. But yeah, really interested to see now what these sessions look like on the grass. So guys, the guys are coming out here. The 16s are coming out in the grass. They do about an hour in the gym, then an hour on the grass. It's a bit more of a weighted to the gym day. I think it's the third day in a row they trained. Had a little word with the coach. He said basically today they're going to do a bit of a shooting and finishing practice. Lots of different progressions. But interestingly, he was talking about the importance of working on left side and the right side. Here at Anderlecht, big proponents of that balance on both sides, getting players who are two-footed, proficient on both sides. So they're going to work 50% on the right, 50% on the left, and they have those different combinations as well. So look, really look forward to seeing what's happening here. Then he said they're going to be doing a little bit of 5v5 stuff like that. So we're going to look about here, and then we're going to shoot across the road to see a bit of that game in the under-8 session.
Ok. Bien. Ouais, ça part, bien corrigé. Excellent, Bourrin. Calme. Hop. Va. Je vois pied gauche. Enroulé.
Okay guys, so under 16 session done. I think they're going to go into some 5v5 games, so we're going to shoot across the road to see some of the 13s play, but also watch the under 8 session. But interesting session. Basically, look, pretty much like a passing pattern. Different variations of passing out the back there. Some combination play, 2-player combinations, third man movements, even some 4-player combinations, playing off both sides. Probably that's the most interesting thing to take from that. As the coach mentioned it beforehand, they really taught the importance of trying to develop players who can play on both feet, their left and their right feet. So they did 50% on their strong foot, 50% on the weak foot. Everybody did the same. So a really big, important pillar of the academy, and that technical excellence. Also think about those different sort of combinations, which you'll see in most academies do. Real emphasis on the different sorts of technical areas. Had that little 4 playing around the corner there. Had that clipped over pass, opening up, so lots of different variations, but real emphasis when the coach knows different technical areas, but really high demanding as well. Obviously when it got away from some of the players who was getting into them, good intensity, so even if it's an unopposed session, really challenging, really demanding. Great first session to see, but let's see what's going to happen across the road now. So a little bit of a stroll across the road now. So we just finished there. This is the main academy building. We just watched the 16 train, obviously had a meeting with the academy director, academy manager. Now we're going to bolt around the corner. It's about a 5-minute walk. That's the 13s are playing, but the younger age groups train. That's where the younger age groups train, 8s to 12s I think. So hopefully we're going to get the full under 8 session as well, and see a little bit of this game as well. But yeah, it's a little bit of a bounce around the corner, about 5 minutes or so.
Hello, my name is Silvio. I coach the under 8 at Anderlecht, and I do also the Purple Start Academy.
Okay, so really interesting session. What I noticed is that you started off with that bit of a passing, receiving warm-up, opening up, and then several balls and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about that and why you like that.
Yeah. So the first exercise, as a warm-up, we start, the focus there is on the first control and on the passing. So we start with one ball so that every player understands the exercise, and then we add some different extra balls. The first control is very important. After the control, that they show a dribble, an action, and then they pass again the ball. So that's very important. And also the reactivity again, the cognitive. So they play and they watch the other side and so on.
So yeah, you've got a lot of things going on there. I've got to move out, and then there's another ball, so there's a lot of interference. And then I like the way also you had a little bit of turning. So receive, you turn, and you get a bit of ball mastery in there as well.
Yeah, it's everything. We try to put everything in the warm-up, like thinking, first control, dribbling, ball mastery, so everything.
Yeah, interesting. And then in between that, you had a little bit of a juggling sort of challenge. Is that quite regular as well, a bit of juggling in between?
Yeah, normally we do the juggling at the first part of the warm-up, but if we do a big warm-up, we do it at the second time. So they have 5-10 minutes that they juggle a little bit, and then we add some exercises like foot, knee, head, some things like that.
And tell us a bit of that. Then you went into like a almost like a circuit, 3 different stations, 3 different activities. You had a first touch in the corner, you did a technical one, and then a 2v1 here. Tell us a little bit about that setup. Is that something you do regularly with the age group like this?
Yeah. I think in the under 8, under 9, even the under 10, 11, 12, we try to divide the group into groups, so not every time mixed, and then we try to turn. So we do 3-4 exercises, and then we turn every 15 minutes.
Right.
So we try to aim some special teams, and then we work on it every training.
And what's noticed as well in the 2v1 practice was quite interesting. I mentioned to your colleague some great little practice, very simple, lots of angles. But what I noticed was the bravery of the players, the creativity is that they all wanted to beat that 1v1. The pass was there, but majority of the time they want to try and be brave on the ball. Even if they make a mistake, it's not a problem. Tell us a little bit about that. Is 1v1 a big part of the academy here?
I think it's one of the most important things there. So it's techniques and 1v1. If you can dribble your man, it's the most important, and certainly at the young ages that they dare to dribble. If they don't dare it at training, they won't do it at the game. So we put a lot of effort in it so that they dare to dribble every time in 1v1. So not easy looking for the pass, but looking for the creativity in the 1v1.
Tell us a little bit about that 1v1 practice at the end. Tell us about the setup and what things you're looking for.
So the 1v1 at the end, we do a lot of times in the season because it's important for us to see the children attack, defend. So the reaction time is very important, and also in the 1v1 that they use their creativity. So they use different dribbling. When they dribble, that they accelerate and they try to score the goal. So that's important. And also important is the team play. So they go to 6 points, and the first team that gets to 6 points wins. So there is a team party of something like that.
So they enjoy winning, and then they don't enjoy losing.
Yeah, exactly. So that there is a special competition that every team plays against each other.
Yeah, and what I noticed as well, and generally, was the specific techniques, or the real identifying and focusing on certain techniques and that individual technical detail. That's what I'm looking for. A lot of technical detail outside the foot, inside the foot movements, receive, lots of first touch. Lots of unopposed practice, but really focusing on that ball mastery and dominating the ball.
Yeah, because the passing, it's only, it's not the most important thing. It's like the techniques is the most important thing that we try to give at the children under 8, under 9, so that they have a big base of technique, dribbling that they can use in 8v8.
Yeah, and just tell us a bit about what I noticed as well. It's a great session, lots of fun. Everybody's lots of competition,
yeah.
but lots of also, you know, come on guys, work harder.
Yeah.
You're quite firm with the players, right? And
yeah.
I noticed that from the coaches. Come on, you know. So for those young players, you're really trying to, you know, let them be creative and explore and have fun. But also there's some boundaries there as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. We try to put the level very high so that they aim for the highest at the training. And I think if they do that at the training, they will show it also at the games. So we put a lot of effort again, coaching words, a lot of vibes of as a coach. We try to level up the training with that, with a lot of speaking to the kids, try to help them in every circumstance. So
and so you mentioned you got 3 games on the weekend. You're playing Genk.
yeah, it's exceptionally this weekend we are playing 3 games.
What is it? Would it be a 5v5?
We play in under 8, under 9. We play 5v5. Yeah.
And what formation would you play in a 5v5, for example?
We always play with so 1 goalie, 1 defender, one winger at the left, one at the right, and then 1 striker.
Right.
But our players in the game, we turn every 50 minutes. They play on another position, so they don't have one position. They play on every position.
Lovely, Sylvia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thanks for coming.
Okay guys, so what a great first day here at Anderlecht filming. I think we had the opportunity to talk to John and get a real detailed breakdown of how the academy works, and obviously see some of the 16s training and see the under 8 session as well. But really the major takeaways for me today is understanding that, thinking about that, you know, real attention to detail in terms of those technical sessions they're delivering. We see those under 8s doing lots of receiving, lots of passing, all right, lots of dribbling, lots of first touch, all right, and understanding that why they're producing such individually great technical players here, and that 1v1 domination that's run throughout. So looking forward to tomorrow and looking at the school programme and seeing what else is happening here at one of the best academies in world football. Okay guys, day 2 at Anderlecht, and we are here at a local school. This school hosts the Purple Talents programme. This is where some of the better players in the club are invited to train, go to school. They get a couple of extra sessions a week, a bit like the day release programme in England, but they've got their own school here. So we're looking forward to seeing a session here this morning with some of those players, some various age groups, and then this afternoon back to the main training facility to see another age group train. So looking forward to seeing another day of great quality training and finding out why this is one of the best academies in world football.
My name is Recruitment. I'm coach of an U14 this season, and I'm working 13 years now for the club. And my second job for the club is as head of Purple Talents program, the program we do in school with the boys.
Perfect. So tell us a little bit about the Purple Talents program. How many players have you got in the program?
We have around 60, 70 players who are working 2 times a week. The Dutch-speaking boys are coming over here for training session in the morning on Tuesday and Thursday, and the French-speaking part of the players, they are going to another pitch, and they have training also on Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay, so they get 2 extra sessions a week.
Yeah.
And what are the age groups? What age do they start at the Purple Talents?
Between under 13 and under 16, they have program at school.
Yeah.
Once they are in U18, they have training in the club.
Okay, now, and do all players come every under 13 or 16, or you just select?
We select the players,
Okay.
But with the years we saw that the success of the program, when we make a transfer with a player, they also ask to come in the program. So we started 12 years ago or 15 years ago with 10, 11 players, and now we are around 60, 70 players. So it's 8, 10 players of every team.
Okay. And what's the selection criteria? How do you select what player comes into the program?
The Purple Talent program is only for the best players.
Okay.
So the players we think that can make first team,
Yeah.
we make a selection, and we look the technical qualities, and then we choose the players to come in the program.
Interesting. And what about the players who are not in the program? What do you say to them, or the parents?
we make a selection, and they know that they have to work to get in the purple.
So it's always open. They can work
Yeah,
hard, they can get into it.
when you're not in U13, it's possible you can come in U14 or U15. It's like playing in the weekend also. If you perform well, you play more than some other boys. So it's the same in the program.
And then tell us a little bit about the program itself. What are you delivering on the sessions? What are the sessions looks like? What are the general outcomes you're looking to get?
I'm gonna tell you, in the evening we make tactical and physical sessions with the team.
Yeah.
So it's more about the team. In the morning we make more individual sessions in small groups, and we try to have the load as low as possible. But we try to focus on technical skills.
Yeah, because when we watched the under-8s train last night, big emphasis on technique, individual resilience and 1v1. Does that still carry on through then with the older age groups?
What we do less in the evening, because what they do in under-8, in the grassroots, it's normal.
Yeah.
Once they go to 11 against 11, we focus more on tactical part in the evening. So we try to give them the technical skills here in the morning.
Interesting.
And work, for example, both foot.
Yeah, so we noticed that as well. Both feet very important. Yeah, so how do you example? What does that look like in terms of delivering?
When we do a passing with first control, for example, we do between 20 and 25 minutes the same passing, and in the 20 or 25 minutes they have to make maybe 100 controls right foot, but also left foot. Okay. So they work both feet.
Always a balance.
Yeah.
And tell us a bit about 1v1. What does that look like? The 1v1 duel in your training?
That's something we introduce in the evening, and also small part in the morning. Right. But if we do it here, we focus on the technical part of the action and not on the physical part where we have the duels.
Okay, so your ball mastery is designed around the 1v1. Is that what you're talking about? You're working on the skills?
It's more passive defending.
Passive defending.
Yeah. We have 30 topics, and they have every week 6 topics. Okay. So every 5 weeks, the topics are coming back.
So give us an example of some of those topics. What are they like?
Today they're gonna work a passing interception. Here we're gonna do a position play where they always have 1 or 2 players extra. Yeah. So that's keeping the ball in the team. And over there they're gonna do finishing after a 1v1 with the defender. Okay. So they have to eliminate and then they have to finish. Okay. And every session we have 3 other topics. After 5 weeks we did all the topics and then we start all over again. Okay. For every topic we have 1 exercise, example exercise that the coaches can give, but they can make variations on the exercise. For some topics we have 2 or 3 exercises. Right. And if a coach can convince me his exercise is better than the topic exercise we have, then we talk about it and we change it.
And then so you almost have like 3 different stations.
Yes.
And the players will rotate.
3 coaches.
1 on each, like we saw the 8s last night.
And we make blocks of between 20 and 25 minutes. Okay, now in the beginning of the school, of the year of school, we do 20 minutes because they come out of class, they have to train, they have to shower, they have to eat and go back to class. Yeah. Once they are used to it, we make it a little bit longer and the time of coming to the pitch and
then
showering.
Lastly, you mentioned success. How do you gauge the success of the school program? Is there a relationship between players having the extra hours and then going to the first team?
We are convinced the players who came out, like Youri, Tielemans, Leander de Donker, Dennis Praat, they all passed here. And what we heard in first team, they said technically the players who come from youth to first team, they measure everything. They have good feet. They have a high level of technical abilities. We think it's because here we call it dry training, always repeating the same things technically, and then they're gonna do it without thinking about it. Yeah, so it's natural.
So yeah, like a lot of sort of drilling, or like, a lot of repetition, volume repetition, lots of unopposed repetition, along with the game scenario, right? So you have a balance of both. Yeah. How important is that? Some people would say, argument's sake, that everything should be done in a game and unopposed training maybe is not good. What would your thoughts be to people?
I think first you have to have the ability to do it on the pitch, and then you can make the transfer to the game. Absolutely. If you can do it under pressure in a game, you first have to analyze it and do it in a simple way, and to make them natural with the movements, with the technical skills, and then they can make the transfer to the game.
Lovely, thank you.
Okay. Welcome.
Okay guys, so what a great morning here spent watching the Purple Talents program train here. Lots of small group technical stuff. So they said basically do a lot of drill work, a lot of unopposed drill work, a bit of opposed stuff, but really focusing on that quality technical work, because then what they do in the evenings is much more game-based and team-based as well. So you get that nice balance of doing the individual technical stuff and the team base. But yeah, really interested to see that. We've got a few hours off now. We're going to head back to the main academy building, try and grab hold of a few other management staff members to get a bit more info about what goes on here. And then in the evening, we've got one more training session, one more training group, and then it's back to London. But so far, so good.
Kevin Vermeulen, Academy Manager and Head of Scouting.
Tell us a little bit about how that works within the city. For example, we saw the under-8s yesterday, very talented young group. How do you go about recruiting those guys?
We have the big benefit or the big luck, I would say, that we are in the center of Belgium. So within, I would say, in normal non-traffic jam hours, we're within 1.5 hour drive. I think we can reach 90% of Belgium. So Belgium is a quite small country, so that helps. And basically we're organized in 3 different blocks. So you've got the 5-5, under 8s, under 9s. You've got the 8v8 playing method, and that's under 10, 11, 12. And then you've got as from under 13, 11v11. So we have 3 coordinators, and we tackle scouting or recruitment in a talent identification in a different way. Basically, in 5-5 we are organized with a big focus on Brussels, and I would say 30 kilometers around Brussels. And then, I think we scout very regional. We also have a Purple Start program, so it's basically the indoor hall where young boys can come and train free, and they can just have a taste of the way of working within the academy. It's quite large scale. Sometimes we have 100-120 guys coming over, doing some drills and so on, and just enjoying themselves. Logically, our own trainers, coaching staff is involved, and they detect nice talents with the big accent on good movers. So being agile, quick, having a good sense of your own body, fluent movers, that's the basic. And then I think learning how to play soccer, that's something we learn them within our academy.
So guys, we're here back at the main facility here. Just had a couple of interviews. We interviewed the head of recruitment, head of physical performance, and the 80s are about to come out. Might catch this session, but we're going to head down to the younger age groups to see the 9s, 10s, 11s or 12s, trying to catch one of those guys. But been a really interesting day. A couple of big takeaways we're talking about. They structured the academy here like in the 5v5s, which is your 8s and 9s, 8v8s, which is your 10s, 11s, 12s, and then the 11v11 program, which is 13s upwards. So it's interesting to understand how they categorize it. But lots of really interesting work. Just to tell you what, like in terms of their works, lots very like technically drill based, lots of technique drilled in. They wanted to produce real technical players. Really interested to see that, and see that's one of the main reasons they produce these quality technical players. So guys, here we are last evening. We're back here at the main centre. We're going to go down to watch the younger age groups train, but they're doing a lot of game prep. So we come back here and watch the 13s train, or the 14s train. I think the 14s actually. They're doing a little bit of physical prep work, a little bit of warm up. They're going to do some movement stuff, which we're going to watch, and then they're going to do a bit of shooting, finishing, some crossing, some stuff like that, and then finish with a little game. So it's a beautiful evening, lovely setting. It's been a great couple of days, and yeah, look forward to getting home. So I'm absolutely knackered. But it's been amazing, got some great content, so look forward to the Inside Academy coming out, and we've got some bonus stuff coming out as well. So just speaking to the head coach of the 14s there, he was saying how obviously look, they do quite a lot of this, but it's really specific about the detail, about running mechanics. He said a lot of the physical coaches are actually from an athletics background, so they're really honing in on that detail about how to run and move better. And he actually said there's about 7 or 8 players in this group who on a Wednesday do an additional session for 30 minutes, maybe lower intensity but real honing in that quality, because maybe they have movement issues and have run as well, and that's a bit like we were speaking to the movement guys earlier, asking about that. So there's additional input into that. But it's quite a long block. It's a 25-minute block. Lots of different reactions, sprinting, good element of competition in there. But you can see the amount of detail the coach has given them in terms of their body movements and their running and getting down low, getting high, and that sort of thing is really important. And part of, so similar to when they do the football, the technical stuff, the movement stuff is really detailed and specific as well. So it's quite interesting.
Hi, I'm Mathias Schifano. I'm physical coach at Anderlecht for the U14. Yes.
So very interesting session. I liked it. Tell us a little bit. What sort of things are you looking to get out from the boys?
So what I'm watching for the session, it's really reactivity from the feet on the ground. Really a lot of intensity with low volume during this session, because we have a match soon, so in 2 days. So it's really important to have intensity with low volume and continues to focus on the first step during a sprint. So the free step, it's really important because it's the time when you can take advantage on your adversary. So it's really important.
So you're talking about the first couple of steps there.
Exactly,
You're really honing in.
Yeah.
So that lovely drill you did when you had to go and turn around.
Yes.
One against one. It was a bit like that, right?
Yeah. So with a lot of reactivity. So for example, if you saw before, it was an exercise in front, face to face.
Yeah.
And the person have to choose a side, and the other need to have the reactivity to choose another side. So it's really important for the change of direction. With, for example, one step. The one step can be really important during a match. So it's why we.
And you said low volume. I mean, how much volume do you need to get better at running? Quicker?
For running.
Yeah,
so,
sprinting or that first. I mean, how much volume do you need to improve that sort of thing?
So it's a little bit difficult to say it because to quantify, because here we work with youth athletes, so it's difficult to know the volume because they improve each day during the season. So
I suppose you have them many days. You have them whole year,
of
right?
course,
so
yes.
It's little bit. You
of
get
course,
better.
they have a high volume during the week. Right. So for each session here we have physical training, then they have soccer training. Yeah. So it's a thing what you have to understand, because if you make all volume you want to make, it's impossible for youth athletes. So.
And what about that drill there? You did little steps, then big steps. Why did you do that? You did little movements and then the big movements. Why did you do that?
So for the exercise, for example, here it's just only for cognitive function, and it was really important to have natural running, natural race, and then to change the rhythm. For example, with a little step, and then with big step, just for variation of the running.
Yes, and also everything was competition, 1v1. Is that important? Does that help? Maybe?
Yes, because they use, and it's really important for make all intention during the exercise. So then they are at 100% during the exercise.
So I want to win. I'm going to.
Yes, of course, yes.
Lovely, thank you, coach.
Thanks.
Okay, so got a bit of a shooting and finishing drill, some combination play. I spoke to the coach beforehand. He said they want to work with the 8 overlapping runs. So basically, the 8 plays into like a 7 or 11. He takes a touch inside to play off a 10 or a 9, and then the 8 makes the overlapping run to like a third man run to play him in, and then they're attacking the box for a finish. And the 8 obviously plays it in there, and there's little rotations, a little bit of motion. But it's interesting to see, like, it's relatively simple combination practice drill, but then the coach is stepping in there, a lot of real technical detail again in terms of movement, timing of runs, moves, receiving, how to receive the ball, and the quality of pass as well there. So also that technical detail always running through the sessions.
Hello, I'm Youri. I'm the assistant coach under 13-14, transition coach with under 11-12, and also coach at the Purple Talent program at the school. So,
tell us about your shooting and finishing session. Tell us about it.
It was about the overlap of my central midfielder, because we are playing through a 3-4-3. So our number 6 and 8, they are able to infiltrating in the middle or to go around. Today we try to let them go around, and we need to search a combination where the winger is going inside, searching a point of play at number 9, and then creating a diagonal passing and a triangle. The thing was, it needs to be wide enough, because otherwise they will intercept that kind of pass. And also the quality of left and right foot, both feet, it's always important with us. And the timing. Again, the timing will come back in every session that we do. So the right moment to enter with the ball of position number 7 or 11, the winger, and the right time to do the overlap. And for sure at the end there was the positioning before the goal. So the striker, number 10, someone on the 45. So that was a little bit the topic of today.
So maybe on another day you did a different sort of movement for the 8 or the 6?
Yeah, yesterday we did something that he was able to choose. Otherwise he was playing in one touch and there was an infiltration in the inside run. And they can do it like today, the outside run, so the overlap. But we saw yesterday that the overlap was less done. It was easier to play the ball to an inside run. So that was the reason why we asked them today to only do the overlap. So we trained it a lot more.
Do you often do the patterns of play while you're doing shooting and finishing? Is that?
Yeah, we actually try to make it reality based. So we are trying to find some things that we came through during the games, and last week, for example, it was a low block. So and in 1v1 it was difficult to pass because there was a double, a second defender was coming out. So there we need to find other solutions like the infiltrations, and that was this week a little bit a topic for the game of this Saturday. So but for sure we are always trying to do it on position. Sometimes we develop also in other position, but this is something that you need to learn on position, I suppose, because so you can imagine which, like the defenders that we put in position, so you can realize, you can visualize a little bit the situation of the game, and that's the thing that we want to train with these guys at this age, that they know the situation, or they recognize the situation that we train in the week during the game in the weekend. So
Okay guys, so look, the under 14s here just playing a little bit of a game. The last part of the session, they got about 30 minutes of like a free play sort of 5v5 type game here. Just time to reflect on an amazing couple of days at this amazing academy. A couple of poignant things that stick out. You know, I've had to choose a few things. Firstly, the way they split the academy up, or they break it up, or they categorise it. They talk about the 5v5, which is the 8s and 9s group, where they really focus on body mastery and ball mastery, so loads of technique, loads of movement development, that sort of thing. Then they talk about the 8v8, which is the 10s, 11s and the 12s, and they call it about game mastery, so it's more game specific stuff but still loads of that ball mastery and that technical work. And then they talk about that next stage, the 11v11, all right, where that's the 14s, 15s, 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, all the way up there when they talk about the 11v11. So when you're talking about these, talk to these coaches, they often say, oh, the 5v5, the 8v8, the 11v11. It's interesting to hear that consistent language going through the academy. It's quite unique. I've never heard that before in terms of how they break it up. But like I say, great quality. Also, the balance on both side things, you know, that left and right foot, trying to develop two-footed players, or players with proficiency on their weak side. You know, a lot of academies talk about that, but don't necessarily do it. And you can see these guys, every practice we've seen, every drill, everything they've gone through, it's always been an equal balance from their weak, that left side and that right side. And they really drill it as well, long time to really develop that sort of quality with their weaker side, which is really, really interesting. But I think generally, you know, when you visit this place, often it's not necessarily the practices they're putting on. I think it's more the culture really, and what the coach is demanding. And you know, you notice that in every single practice. The practice might be, you know, just a drill or just a practice, but it's the technical detail that the coaches are demanding, and they are demanding that quality, that individual technical brilliance and that individual technical detail for each player that really runs through the club. So that culture, I think, is really unique, and that really shows them what's the difference between these guys and maybe other academies in what they're delivering. But at the end of the day, it's a world-class environment, it's a world-class culture, and you definitely feel that here, and you can see that the players players are thriving from that, and you've got top class coaches. And like I say, it's been a really inspiring couple of days for myself, and I just want to say a big thanks to everybody involved at the academy here at Anderlecht, Jean at the top as well, who's really just opened up the doors for us and given us full access, all areas, to bring to you the Inside Academy of one of the best academies in the world. So there you go, guys, inside the Academy Anderlecht. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been an inspiring couple of days for myself. This is truly a world-class environment, one of the best academies in world football. And remember, like and subscribe. And if you want to see all the full sessions from everything we recorded this weekend, all the coaching sessions, check out the Coach's Pass at MyPersonalFootballCoach.com. But for now, goodbye, see you next time. And remember, master the ball, master the game.